I did not do any skincare today, and I'm so funny about that. Like, I literally will do skincare before I go to the gym, but it's late in the evening and I have my training session. So I'm gonna put a little something on my face, not a lot. Actually, I've been loving this organic rosehip oil, and some people are real funny about putting oils on their face, but I personally don't have an issue with it. Probably only going to use about that much anyway, and that's just because it's getting cold out and I do not like dry skin, especially my face. So I try to keep it as moisturized as I possibly can. So, and this oil is actually really, really light. And my hands are looking a hot mess too. So I need to do something about them. I'm gonna put some of this on my lips. It's the lip smoothie by Pharmacy. I love this too. It is so good in many ways. But I wanted to chat about some stuff because I feel like I am really serious most of the time. So you guys know I'm all about we talking about this body recomp, we talking about nutrition, we talking about dark femme energy, we talking about living intentionally. And I don't really do a lot of gossip, but there is something that I wanted to talk about that has been on these internet streets, and it is a very interesting conversation. And it is about Dr. Karri Bryant. I think that's her name. Karri. I don't know. I've heard her speak, but I don't know how you pronounce her name. So I totally apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong. But hold the line. I had to put y'all on hold because I had to grab my workout outfit and I didn't want y'all to see my yams. I have been wearing these onesies and I absolutely love them. I love me a good onesie, especially if I'm doing like an intense training session, simply because sometimes I'm kind of like jumping around and it just holds my boobs in place really good. And I got this jumpsuit right here. I believe I got it from Amazon. I'll show you guys what it looks like in a minute. But lots of conversation about Jamal Bryant's wife, Dr. Karri Bryant. And first of all, she is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And then second of all, this is not going to be a bash of her or him whatsoever. I don't care what no folks got going on in their life. That's their business, not mine. So that's not going to be what this is going to be about at all.
Stand, Carriana! Preach, Carriana! Teach, Carriana! Lead, Carriana! Do the work that God put in you before he gave you a body. Wow. You are God's handmaiden. And there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. We just haven't seen this before. We're sorry. Just give us a second to catch up.
I can see both perspectives, especially with her being a first lady. When I initially saw the dress, I was like, wow, they look good. That was my first reaction. I never thought about it being inappropriate. I never thought about it not looking right. I just thought, it looked good because honestly, she does her, and that's what I really like about her. I like the fact that she does her, and she does her, to me, in a very elegant way. Was the dress appropriate for the event? Yes. It wasn't a church event. And I think that's what people are missing. Like it was an evening event. I could see if it was a church event, but it wasn't. And I've seen people actually wear worse. And to me, like, we got to get out of this mindset of wanting to police people because they're a Christian or because they're a first lady. Just because you wear something or you don't wear something doesn't mean that that's a definitive or a defining thing in terms of your character. You know, you could wear a dress down to your ankles and you could be a big ass freak. And I've seen it. I have seen it. In high school, there was a girl that her family was like really sanctified. They went to like a holiness church, and her and her sisters had to wear dresses down to their ankles. But I brought it up because as somebody that's a fitness girly, somebody that is really trying to look as good as possible, I think her shape looks very good. And I love when women show off their shape. I love when women show off their vivaciousness, their curves in a sexy, you know, kind of elegant way. I can really definitely get with that. That is what all that I have to add to the conversation, because again, I don't talk about people. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and gossip about her because that's his wife. If he like it, I love it. But anyway, y'all, this is a half wig, and you basically, with a half wig, you just take it, it's combs, and it's a comb here, and here, and one in the back, and then it's like a drawstring. So I braid my hair down, and I braid down enough of the leave out to be able to cover the wig, and voila. It's the best protective style ever because it's protecting my edges. I'm able to get to my hair every single night to oil my scalp. I've been using that Botania oil, not for long, but I'm gonna definitely update you guys to let you know how that is working out for me. For sure, hoping and praying that it's a go, it's a win. Real quick, this is the outfit. It is a, like I said, it's a onesie, and it's not, I probably could have went down a size, but that's fine. It doesn't have to be super tight. But I believe this is a large, but it's a whole onesie. I love this red color. I'm a tall girl, and it comes down to my ankles. I bring it down so you can see. So it comes all the way down to my ankle, and it holds the girls in really nicely with my sports bra. So if I'm moving around or jumping or doing anything high impact, this just holds me in, and it's super duper warm. So I'm gonna order me another one of these so I can have at least two to choose from. But so cute, so cute. So I am fixing me some coffee. It's late, but I still use coffee as my pre-workout, especially on days where I just know that I'm gonna need an extra boost of energy. I used to love pre-workouts, but as I've gotten older, I just don't like the way that, I don't like the feeling that I get from taking them. So just a cup of black coffee. Actually, I ain't even gonna lie, I'm gonna put some Splenda in here because I can't do just black coffee. And some people like Splenda, some people don't. I do Splenda. I've done monk fruit. I've done honey. Like, I'll do any sweetener, everything except for sugar. I'll do sugar if I absolutely have to. But with that being said, I use this caffeine as just a way to boost my energy so that I can get up in there, get up through there, and get it done. Every single Friday is deadlift day for me. And I am so proud of my deadlifts because it took a while for me to get my form together and to master my technique. But once I realized that this was not me doing anything upper, I'm not using my chest, my shoulders, my I'm not using any of that. This is a lower body exercise. And when I realized that I'm using the large muscles in my legs and my core to do the work, is when I felt so much more confident doing this. And now I'm getting up in weight, and I'm also getting up in reps. And so soon and very soon, I will be over 200 pounds deadlifting. But what my trainer does is we train according to the push-pull legs method. And so the push-pull training style is where you train upper body muscles that perform pushing movements, and then you train upper body muscles that perform pulling movements, and then you train legs. And we do it all in one session. Here I am. This seems very simple, but it is hard. And again, this is another one where I had to master the core connection. And so I'm using a good bit of my core. Yes, I'm using my arms. Yes, I'm using my back, but I'm using my core as well to keep myself stable and to be able to, take these bands and push them towards his fist. And so it's not as easy as it looks. The TRS bands is what I'm doing now. This is going to help me eventually do a pull-up. And so this is an assisted way. And we've done a variety of TRX bands, a variety of assisted pull-ups. The goal is for me to get up on that bar one day and pull myself up. And not just pull myself up once or twice, but to pull myself up at least 5 to 10 times. And we're getting there really soon. And I am going to be so proud to show you guys when we do get there. This is a split squat. And I'm holding on to this white pole because I, in my mind, thought that I needed some type of stability, some type of help. But I'm also going to insert here where I'm doing it by myself. And this is all due to Pure Barre and Pilates, where we do a lot of balance. We do a lot of core. Again, this is using core. It's lower body as well, but it is me. I'm keeping myself stable by using my core. This is a military press. This is another one that I've gotten good at. And so eventually he's just going to do that progressive overload where he's absolutely going to add that weight in. And, just going to get better, and you guys will see that as well. And then lastly, I'm going to be doing what we call fireman carries. And fireman carries are really a good exercise for my mature people. This is a 70-pound kettlebell, I believe. And so I'm going to go down and back on one side, and then I'll go down and back on the other side. But as we age, guys, we have to be able to carry heavy things. And this is usually a finisher, or we do other things as a finisher. But when I tell you this is a lot harder than what it looks, it is a lot harder than what it looks. Well, hello, sissies. My gym session is done for the evening, and I almost busted my tush and broke my neck, but I persevered and I kept it going. So I'm so very proud of myself for that. But what happened was, part of my workout is that, or part of my warm-up is that I jump up on a jump box. Now, if you've been following my journey, you know that when I initially started working out, I could barely jump up 12 inches. And I have progressed all the way to 24 inches. And I had set a goal for myself that not only would I be able to jump up 24 inches, but I wanted my jump to be smooth. I wanted it to look, like a martial artist doing it. My husband's jump is really smooth. And I was like, okay, I definitely want to get there. But today I forgot to wear my grippy socks. And so I typically work out in my grippy socks, especially when I'm jumping, because every little centimeter counts. And so I didn't have them on, and I jumped too short and I fell. But I completed my set. And so, like I said, I persevered, and that's that. In addition, I am getting so much stronger. I am able to deadlift almost 200 pounds. And not only am I deadlifting 200 pounds, I've, increased my set. So, or my reps. So I would do 4. Now I'm doing like 6 to 8. So I'm very proud of that. In addition to the deadlift, I'm getting so much better with the military press. At one point, I would do 5 and I'd be like winded. Now I'm doing pushing out 10, 11, 12. And then the split squats. Now this is where the balance challenge happens, because y'all know that I've been doing Pilates and Pure Barre, and this has been helping me so tremendously with my core strength and with my balance. And when I first started doing split squats, I would have to hold on to this little white thing. I'll show you guys in the video. And my trainer would kind of help me with balance, but I can do it by myself. And so these are just little bitty milestones that I am improving on, and I'm so very happy that it's getting better. But here's the thing. I got through this workout. I didn't get lightheaded. I didn't get dizzy. I pushed through, and that is because of my nutrition. This entire week, I stuck with it, y'all. I ate what I was supposed to eat. I ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I had one mess up, and that was for dinner. And I think that was like Wednesday night. I ended up going to Culver's, and that was because I was pissed off. I had got off work, and I went to Pure Barre, and I was just salty. And so I ended up getting Culver's. I needed some comfort food. It is what it is. But other than that, I've been doing my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I've been drinking my chlorella powder, getting my creatine in, getting my protein in, getting my water in, and it has been working. And this is no placebo effect. This is real time. I have been lacking in nutrition, and I have been pushing through. I have been pushing my body and just ignoring the signs. Point blank, period. It's Friday. Me and hubby usually do date night on Friday, but since we do have the food, we're going to eat it, and then we'll probably do date night another time. But I really appreciate you sissies so very much. Those of you that have been following me and that support me, trust me, I absolutely see you, and you know who you are. So you are so very much appreciated. And those of you that are following my journey and doing it with me, that makes me feel even better. And I do want to say this, because I am seeing a lot of us sisters that are getting into Pilates, that are doing like at home Pilates. Pilates is an art form. And I'm not a Pilates guru, so this isn't coming from a place of me thinking that I know it all. But I have been doing Pilates for over a year. And when I started doing Pilates, I started out going to Pilates at a very exclusive Pilates studio. Like, this studio only had 6 reformers, and all of their equipment was very much Joseph Pilates old school, and that was their method. And one thing that they teach is safety. And I know it's very easy for us to get on Google or get on YouTube or TikTok, and we see people selling gadgets and doing this and doing that. But I want my ladies to be safe, especially my mature ones. Don't be doing Pilates with no weighted vest on. You see me blinking my eyes. Don't be doing Pilates on them little pink makeshift machines. You're going to hurt yourself. Now, you do what you want. You grown. You spent your money on it. But if you're watching somebody that's doing that and you're thinking to yourself, you're going to do it too, please proceed with caution. Don't do it. You come out better just finding you somebody here on YouTube that you can tell that they're certified Pilates instructors, or go find you a video of somebody that's certified and watch their videos and do floor mat Pilates. But doing Pilates with a weighted vest on is a no, especially when you on the so-called reformer machine. I have worked up to level 2 at Club Pilates, and we grab weights and we do some weighted type of things, but they would much rather you have the mind-body connection than to be grabbing some weights. And having on a weighted vest, Y'all, don't do it. Anyway, let me get off here. It's getting dark, and get to the house. I know my husband is probably like, what is she doing? Because we walked out the gym together. We do our training sessions together. Well, we kind of stagger each other. So, and I know y'all know that about me by now. But anyway, until next time, y'all have a good one. See you in the next video. Bye.